XRP is sitting at a critical crossroads right now at $2.33, and what happens next could determine whether we see that explosive run to $3, $5, or even higher. Despite some network activity concerns that have the bears worried, the technical signals are absolutely screaming that something massive is about to happen. The setup we're seeing right now reminds me of early 2021 before XRP went absolutely parabolic. You need to know this. Here's the deal. XRP has been trading sideways for over a week now, stuck in this tight range between $2.27 and $2.34. But don't let that fool you into thinking nothing's happening beneath the surface. We hit a beautiful $2.65 on May 12th, riding Bitcoin's incredible wave to fresh all-time highs, but then we pulled back into this consolidation phase. Now here's what's really going on behind the scenes, and why this might be the most important XRP setup we've seen all year. The mainstream media and the crypto bears are focusing on one metric: the 44% drop in active addresses on the XRP ledger, from 39,515 down to 22,253. And they're painting this doom and gloom picture like XRP is somehow dead in the water. But let's break this down properly because they're missing the bigger picture completely. Yes, network activity has cooled off from those explosive January and December peaks when everyone was rushing into crypto. And yes, XRP futures open interest dropped from $5.52 billion on May 14th down to $4.77 billion as I'm recording this. The bears are pointing to this and saying, see? Interest is dying. But here's what they're completely missing. And this is why I love being a contrarian in this market. This is classic healthy consolidation before the next massive leg up. We've seen this exact pattern with XRP multiple times before. Every single time the market gets quiet like this, every time the weak hands get shaken out, every time the mainstream starts writing obituaries, that's precisely when XRP makes its most legendary moves. Think about it. Do you want to buy when everyone's talking about it and FOMO is at peak levels? Or do you want to position yourself when the market is consolidating, when the smart money is accumulating quietly while retail traders are getting bored and moving on to the next shiny object? I know which camp I'm in. Let's dive deep into what the charts are actually telling us, because this is where it gets really exciting and where the real alpha is hiding. XRP is holding incredibly strong above that critical 50-day exponential moving average at $2.30. That's not just any support level. That's been our launching pad for every major rally this year. And get this, we've got the 100-day EMA providing additional rock-solid support at $2.27. So we're sitting in this beautiful sweet spot with multiple layers of support underneath us. That's not weakness. That's strength building up like a coiled spring. Now, I'll be completely transparent with you because I always keep it real on this channel. The MACD did flash a sell signal on May 20th when the blue line crossed above the red signal line. And the money flow index dropped from overbought territory at 76 down to more neutral levels. Some traders are looking at this and getting bearish, but here's exactly why I'm still incredibly bullish and why this might be the opportunity of the year. The SuperTrend indicator is still flashing a massive buy signal. This is absolutely huge because the SuperTrend is one of the most reliable trend-following indicators we have. It's telling us that despite all the noise, despite the short-term bearish signals, the bulls are still firmly in control of the overall trend. As long as XRP stays above that SuperTrend line, and we are right now, we're in prime position for an explosive breakout to the upside. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Let's talk about what's happening in the futures market because this is where the smart money really shows its hand. We're seeing $3.19 million in long liquidations compared to just $500,000 in short liquidations. Now the bears will tell you this is bearish, but I see it completely differently. This is classic market maker behavior. They're hunting the leveraged longs, creating these short-term dips to trigger stop losses and liquidations, all while accumulating at these lower levels. It's the oldest trick in the book, and it happens before every major move up. The weak hands with too much leverage are getting flushed out, making room for the real move. Here's the game plan and the levels that everyone needs to be watching. We need to break above that descending trend line that's been capping our upside, and more importantly, we need to push through the $2.80 supply zone. This is the exact same level that acted as resistance back in February and December, so it's a critical psychological and technical level. Once we clear $2.80, we're looking at a clear path to $3, and from there, the sky's the limit. The next major resistance doesn't come until $3.50, and if we break that with volume, we could see XRP run all the way to $5 or higher before the next major consolidation. But let's also talk about the downside scenario because I always want to give you the complete picture. If we lose that 50-day EMA support at $2.30 and the 100-day EMA at $2.27, we could see a deeper pullback to the 200-day EMA at $2.06. And you know what? That would actually be a gift. That would be the ultimate buying opportunity before the next major leg up. Even better, if we somehow got a flash crash down to that April 7th low at $1.61, which I think is extremely unlikely, but you never know in crypto. That would be like Christmas morning for anyone looking to load up on XRP before the next bull run phase. So what should you be watching right now, and what's my specific action plan for the next few weeks? I'm going to give you the exact levels and scenarios you need to know. First scenario, the bullish breakout. If XRP breaks and holds above $2.80 with strong volume, that's your green light signal that we're heading straight for $3. But don't just buy the breakout and hope for the best. Wait for the retest of $2.80 as support. That's where the smart money will be adding to their positions. From there, $3 becomes our first major target, but I honestly think we could see $3.50 to $4 if the momentum really picks up. Second scenario, the accumulation opportunity. If we break below that $2.27 support level, don't panic. This could be the gift we've all been waiting for. A dip down to that 200-day EMA at $2.06 would be an incredible buying opportunity. That's a 12% discount from current levels. And historically, the 200-day EMA has been an amazing place to add to XRP positions. Here's what I'm personally watching. Volume is key. We need to see that volume spike when we make our move, whether it's up or down. Low volume moves don't hold. We need conviction from the market. Also, keep an eye on Bitcoin. XRP tends to follow Bitcoin's lead in the short term, but when XRP decides to decouple and run on its own fundamentals, that's when the magic happens. We saw this back in 2017, and I have a feeling we're setting up for something similar. My take: this consolidation phase is exactly what we need for a sustainable move higher. The weak hands are being shaken out, the over-leveraged positions are being liquidated, and the smart money is quietly accumulating. When this market decides to move, and it will, it's going to be absolutely explosive. If you're holding XRP, stay strong and keep those diamond hands. Don't let the short-term noise shake you out of what could be a generational opportunity. And if you're thinking about getting in, use this consolidation to your advantage. Set your buy orders at those key support levels I mentioned. Remember, the biggest opportunities in crypto come when everyone else is bored or scared. Right now, while the market is consolidating and the mainstream is writing bearish headlines, that's when fortunes are made. Smash that like button if you're bullish on XRP hitting $3 by summer. And I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your price predictions in the comments below. Are you team $5 XRP? Or do you think we're going even higher? Let me know. Listen, the crypto market is consolidating and building massive energy for the next incredible wave. And I'll be here every single day keeping you ahead of the curve and making sure you don't miss the opportunities that change lives. These consolidation phases. These are the moments that separate the real crypto investors from the paper hands who sell at the first sign of sideways action. The setup we're seeing right now across the entire crypto market reminds me so much of early 2020 before everything exploded higher. Bitcoin is making new all-time highs. The altcoin season is just getting started, and XRP is coiled up like a spring ready to explode. Don't miss tomorrow's update where I'll be covering the latest Bitcoin developments that are setting up the entire altcoin market for massive success. Plus, I'll be diving deep into some other altcoins that are showing similar setups to what we're seeing with XRP right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because trust me, you don't want to miss the next gold rush in crypto. We're living through one of the most exciting times in crypto history, and the opportunities we're seeing right now won't last forever. Until tomorrow, keep stacking, keep believing, and remember, fortune favors the bold in this market.